making you lonely, you can always go to Cheltenham. When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. At Cheltenham, just listen to the music of those good old Irish voices. Linger by the paddock, see the horses, make your choices. How can you lose?
Well, folks, there we go. You can't lose if you listen to the Irish. The Irish. I'm here with the big bandit. Bonjour, Mr. Bandit.
Bonjour.
Also, Mrs. Bandit. She'll probably not speak, but she's listened to an Irish mod or two at Cheltenham, haven't you? Oh, very quiet she is. But yeah, so was it? No, it weren't. It was Put the Kettle On, wasn't it?
Put the Kettle On.
Well, just talking to the Irish at Cheltenham,
Yes.
Oh yeah, there she is. Big win on that. Yeah, so here we are. It's a surprise episode. This we're not another £500 mark yet. We're halfway at 6,753 and 25 pence of the bookies' bones on the nose for Cheltenham 2025. We're just going to do a quick weekend review. Mr. Big Bandit, your thoughts on the weekend's action? A lot of action.
Yeah, there's some very good horses out. John Bond was very impressive.
Especially with the ground. I thought he might have pulled him out, Nicky.
Yeah, but he's won it before with that ground.
Yeah.
Then ATLANTIQUE was very good.
Yeah, John Bond was good. ATLANTIQUE was very impressive, wasn't it? And it was a hype horse last year almost, wasn't it? Yeah. There was a lot of people talking about it last year. And what are you thinking ATLANTIQUE, Arkle? Browns?
I have no idea which word it's going over yet.
We'll have a look at the distances it's been running at shortly. But any other eye catchers from the weekend?
No, mainly John Bond was very special. I'm still on Constitutional.
You think it's good value, do you?
I think you gain a bit of value at present. But it will go in, it'll go back in because Nicky has come out and said it's 100% fit.
That's it, yeah. Nicky's been out saying it's 100% now, hasn't he? So what we're thinking, Christmas hurdle then, straight to the festival?
Still, yeah, Christmas hurdle, festival.
I think if Constitution Hill comes out and puts an opponent, I can still see Lossaref go at Mers, but that's me.
No, I can't see go at Mers.
But yeah, your ATLANTIQUE's been running over 2 mile 4, which is Arkle distance, isn't it? Burns is around 3 in it, so yeah, I mean ATLANTIQUE.
Arkle's 2 mile.
Arkle's 2.
Yeah.
Oh, could have got to Burns then. It's ran at 2 though, ATLANTIQUE. It's ran at 2. Came 7th last year at the last race, and it won obviously at 2 mile 4, so it could be, yeah, an up in distance horse. But yeah, if it goes to the festival this year, ATLANTIQUE was quite impressive at the weekend, weren't it? Other performers, Load of Sud went in again.
Yeah.
That's had a couple of good runs now, hasn't it?
Yeah. What do you think that'll run in?
I've been backing it for Arkle, haven't I?
Have you?
Wrapped Up in May was pulled out. I noticed that was declared at the weekend. That was a talk horse last year, wasn't it? No. So it'd be interesting to see if that comes out again. Yellow Clay.
It's just what race they're going for.
Well, the Yellow Clay, it had to use everything to get up on the line, didn't it? It was struggling at that. It was 2.5 mile, wasn't it? 2 mile 4.
But it
Browns
is fighting it.
Yeah, but could it be more of a Bartlett horse? Albert Bartlett is 3 mile, whereas the other race, what's the other race we've been backing it for? Gallagher's. Gallagher's is 2 mile 4, 2 mile 5, innit? So I think with the way it won, it just got up. It was staying on at the line. So I'm thinking, you've hammered it for the Bartlett, so I'm hoping it does. We'll have a look at the Bandits bets on the Yellow Clay, actually. Let's have a little look. Let's type in. You've the yellow, let's type him in. Yellow Clay, we've got 25s at some point on it. Oh, you've hammered it there in the Gallagher's. So you have hammered it in the Gallagher's. But if I go on the other tab, let's put them all back in. You've got about 5 bets for the Bartlett there and about 10 or 12 for the Gallagher's. But then if you go here, because I think a lot of the time the Bartlett is the end race, isn't it? The Yellow Clay. Yeah, probably even split. You've got, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got about 13, 14 bets on it for the Bartlett. Similar amount for the Gallagher. But initially got 25s for the Bartlett. What is it now for the Bartlett? It's gone in, hasn't it?
I think it's 10 to 1.
It's gone in a lot. It might be less than 10 to 1. I mean, I had a good win at the weekend. That Cade Dorfy of Mullins, what fell in that first race, that 11:30 race, that did me a lot because I'd had a Canadian. The next 4 won. And then my next bet, another Canadian, I'd avoid Wilmot, didn't run, and the other 4 went in that. So I'd 8 winners out of 9 runners. No, yeah, 8 winners out of 9. Avoid, so out of 10, 8 out of 10 avoid, and that kid Dorfy. And I didn't even notice Jasmine DeVore was running. I said I might have had that in instead of the unknown kid DeVore. It could have been I could be retired now. Anyway, what do you think about that, Mr. Big Bandit? Never happy, am I?
Well, you was coming to me with all bad reports about Jasmine DeVore, saying the horse were too small. I don't know where you got that from.
Well, people were saying it, yeah. I listened to the Big Bandit though, we've hammered it.
I told you, over hurdles, it doesn't matter the small.
Because let's have a look at Jasmine DeVore actually, because you watched that race, I didn't watch the race, Jasmine DeVore. You impressed?
Yeah, it run well. A good finish it has.
Let's have a look. With abs, oh my gosh. The Big Bandit here, he's getting... How many bets have got on it here? You've got both races, Supreme and Gallagher. What do you think it's going to go for, Gallagher?
I think maybe the Gallagher now, yeah.
I mean, I think it's 5 to 1 for the Gallagher now, isn't it? It's favourite. Mm-hmm. It's not 5 to 1 favourite for the Gallagher. You've got 85 bets on Jasmine DeVore. Probably a mix of Supreme and Gallagher. But at some points, it went out in the bet because it started off very low for the Supreme. You had 8, yeah. At some point, it had bad, but then at some point you got 14s and 20s and 12s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's looking. He was impressed with Jasmine DeVore.
Yeah, it's it finished well. That's what counts.
Yeah. So Jasmine DeVore was out. What else was out? What that kid off? Mullins said it's a dark horse, didn't he, in his stable too, and obviously it fell. He Can't Dance won. Yeah. It got there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Weren't overly impressive, but first time out, won. I've heard a few other tipsters knocking it. I mean, I'll never knock a winning horse, you know. Can only beat what's in front of them. What else was out at the weekend? Any other? Saffareur was out. That's an Elliott horse. Over, was it Kelso or Cork? That one well, Saffareur. We're not really back that for Cheltenham. We'll have to have a look out for that. Keep your eyes out if anyone knows where Saffareur might go. Yeah, that Henry II was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, very good that.
It's unscripted this. I'm just looking at a few of these winning bets. Yeah, we was going to have a look, weren't we? Yellow Clay. Let's have a quick look here. I'm just bringing the anti-post market up on my phone. We've hammered, and this is the thing about hammering a couple of the first few of the bet, and it's 10s now for the Bartlett. We've got 25s on it, so that Willie the Who was disappointing. We're not going to be having anything more on that, are we, the other week?
Well, we've got a bit on it.
But I tell you what, that East India Dock, I mean, we've started rattling that in now. I still think at 6 to... That won impressive, didn't it?
Yeah.
That were impressive.
Well, really, it's a shame because we've known... Well, I've known about East India Dock for a while.
You kept that to yourself.
Not really backed it.
Did you know about it for a while?
I don't know, I just did. Did it run the flat? I think I had to see it.
Oh, right.
Previous...
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, Mer's Hurdle's interesting now, isn't it? Because Lost the Most 5 to 1. Brighter Day's Edge, you can't back it at even money. We've got a good few bets on it at 10 to 1.
We've got some bets on Brighter Days.
Yeah, you can't back it now. J Degrees is 5, we've got enough on that. I'm looking now at that market thinking if Brighter Day's Head bombs out or something happens, with enough on J Degrees, enough on Lost the Most, Cargeese at 8s and Golden Ace at 12s are good odds.
A lot of Cargeese.
Yeah.
A lot of Cargeese.
Carla Conti's in the running as well. That disappointed at the weekend, but he did win its previous start, 16 to 1. Birdie or Bust 20. So I think that might be a race where something like Magical Zoe, Birdie or Bust, Carla Conti could. There's always that one race, isn't there? I think it might be Brighter Days Ahead. I think I've said before, but I think I actually said before it went in, didn't I? It was me 5 not to follow, but then I started backing it as I do, you know, because I'm a spread better. So yeah, that's weekend roundup. Anything else, Mr. Big Bandit? That we Constitutional, obviously we're thinking it's cracking odds, aren't we?
Yeah, good odds.
Anything else?
Well, You can still get 3 and 4 to 1 in places. Yeah, constitutional.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, I think I'm going to rattle it in
dream prices.
from now to then. Considering this horse has been 5 to 1 on in the past for Cheltenham. One other horse to talk about, Spillane's Tower, which I know a few people have talked about for a while. That was quite impressive when it came second. I've just been looking at some of my stats. Now you're looking at Spillane's Tower, Ryanair or the Gold Cup. Both the races, the horses are aged between 7 and 9, and it's going to go to Cheltenham as a 6-year-old. So I think 2026 could be Spillane's Tower. In fact, the Big Bandit's just opened up his 2026. Get on it, Spillane's Tower 2026. Bandit says. But yeah, Ryanair, you got to be 7 and 9. You know, last 13 winners all 7 and 9. So if I go by my stats, Spillane's Tower's not winning that. And same with the Gold Cup. Look at the Gold Cup. All winners, 13 of the last 14, aged 7 to 9. So the stats are against Spillane's Tower. Improving horse, stayed on well last time out. That could be a 2026 when the markets start coming out, couldn't it? Yeah.
Horses for the future for next year.
It's in those green and gold silks. Get on it for 2026. There's a first tip from the Bandit for 2026. Spillane's Tower. Let me know what you think. It's come out if you're looking at the stats today. Just a quick overview of the Big Bandit, unscripted. Came out about 10 minutes ago. I'm giving it now for 2026. A few people have beat me to it. Good old Steve at Smoking Cheltenham's already had some 2026 tips. But there you go. Let me know. I'll tag Steve in this. See what he thinks. Spillane's Tower 2026. Gold Cup or Ryanair? Depends how it does this year, doesn't it? So I think get it in both if you can if the markets come out.
Yeah. I'd say really good for the Gold Cup. Go for it.
Go for it. Right, so there we are on that. On the sort of quick review of the weekend. Let's have a look at some of the recent bets that we've been putting on here, F. There's been quite a few tasty ones. Here we go. So there you go. We had ATLANTIQUE. I always try and back them before. When I noticed the right, I back them before they run. So I had a tenner on. It was 33 to 1. A £10 entry between 330. So we had 33 to 1 for ATLANTIQUE for the Urkel before it ran at the weekend. It is now 16 to 1. So that's the value there, Big Bandit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You notice these horses coming out and you've got a few free bets in your account. We got it in 2 bets at 33 to 1 in a double with Sergino for the Champion Hurdle. And we had 12s on Sergino before that came out. So, yeah, that's the tactic I tend to go with. I try and get a few bets on these horses before they run, especially when, some declared. Murcia for the Triumph. I heard someone else mention that the other day, and we backed it a little bit, that. And Mullins mentioned it in one of his stable tours. It might have been last year he first mentioned it. Because the Triumph's sort of already falling apart, innit, with your Willie de Who coming out and what have you. So, yeah, I mean, people can have a look at these, they can see. The sheer vastness of this. Here's this tab. Oh, that's even Mr. N's tab, it looks big. Mr. N's tab has got more or less 300 bets. Mr. Pig and N, he likes to sit around and let everyone do it for him. He likes having a shout out for that. And then here, my bet, 760 we've got on. The Big Bandit weighing in with an incredible... The Big Bandit, Mrs. Bandit, sat at the side here now. She's looking. I've done 760 bets. The Big Bandit, we're still going 800. Oh, 866 bets for the Big Bandit. So, there you go. But yeah, let's have a look at some of the recent bets we've been putting in here. Potter's Charm 16s for the Turners Novices Hurdle. We don't know where it's going to go, obviously, at this stage, but at 16s, I'm having a bit of that.
Yeah, good price.
Marjack's Hill, we fell down on Antwerp 20s and it ran shockingly. That's thanks to Josh at Let's Talk Racing, we can thank him for that. But yeah, you look at the way the book's going here, and this is how you do a book with the bookies money, folks. This is how you do it. Load of Sword 8s we had. Some good bets on. We had some cracking bets on that Founder 50 at 50 to 1. It's now 20s, I noticed, Founder 50. I think I got that off Steve at Smoking Cheltenham a few months ago, saying it were good odds. Marine National's all gone quiet on that. I think the horse is injured, isn't it? We heard. Yeah,
Well, the punters want is good odds now.
well, punters always want good odds. Here, punters are having a punt. We're not having a punt, we're having an educated spread bet, that's the difference. Bookies love punters, you know. But yeah, the bandit's still going after these buggers, these bookers. They'll not catch me. They'll have to be very quick to keep up the bandit. But yeah, there's a few of the, like I said, recent bets that have been going into the book, and I think we're going to leave it on that note. Unless the big bandit's got anything extra to say. Galloping the Champ Gold Cup. What do we think? Are we
still galloping?
Yeah, I think Galloping could have its last year. I think next year could be a Factor Foul Spillane's to a green and gold battle. You know,
this might be its last chance.
Yeah, it's last. Well, it's not. No, it's last chance. It's hat trick. Never mind, it's last chance. It's hat trick. Get it right, big bandit. It's on for an hat trick here. Yeah, green and gold battle 2026 Spillane's to a Factor Foul. Wow, you know, that's what I can see. Got a vision. So we've got our first 2026 tip. Ginny's Destiny, disappointing. Just thinking of some of the things for the weekend.
Yeah.
Protectorat second.
I think Protectorat didn't have a bad run really. Second.
What won the race? I'm trying to think what won the race.
Oh, no.
What won the race? Venetia's horse, your friend.
Horse, yeah.
In this household here, I've got Mrs. Bandit sat next to me. Venetia Williams, who looks like my mother-in-law. Got Mrs. Bandit sat next to me. Every winter, if it's muddy and wet, Venetia wins. That's what the mother bandit says. The big bandit, without fail, doesn't back Venetia in the mud. What's going on? It's unbelievable. She wins in the mud. But I said this, look, everyone has the day. Henderson's yet to have his real good day where he has a loading. Skelton had one. Venetia's had one. They all have a day. Elliot's had his down royal day. But yet, in the mud, Venetia, this time of year, next year you got to get on it, big bandit. You got to remember, you know, and stop being a punter. You've got to go with the stats. But anyway, we'll leave it at that, as always. And I've noticed there's only a couple of shows, Mark at Cheltenham Chat, Steve at Smoke and Cheltenham and the Bandits, who aren't sponsored by a bookie. I'm seeing more and more of these shows being sponsored. The bookies are infiltrating, even the tipsters for the anti-post betting. Remember, as always, spread bet with the bookies money, get over the Cheltenham Bandit.